We have to beat these people being clever. Taking the money out means creating coalitions that they never thought that could occur. That's what happened to the Democrats when Trump got elected. Trump got all the blue-collar voters from the Rust Belt states that lost all their jobs to China to join in and become part of the Republican voter base. The Democrats in Congress never thought that could ever happen. I was there. So you can the arrogance that these people have, the sense of confidence, we can beat them, and it's by pulling the rug out from under them and creating diverse coalitions.
Yeah, and you talk about not going at them directly. I always point to this a lot. Like, there are a lot of women's organizations, and I won't point out any in particular, and then these bar associations and the judges associations, that they are well funded. And for example, women's organizations have been out there lobbying for things to be the way they are for 60 years. They're much more well funded. They're much more established. And so our essentially opponent in this, the people who are going to push back against us, are going to have more money. They're probably going to have more relationships. So there has to be unique arguments, and there have to be unique things to drive this legislation. And I always tell people this is a snowball that's growing. If you talk to anybody, and in an issue situation, like you and I are very, very new to like a political issue.
Right.
If you talk to anybody who's been around this issue for 10, 15, 20 years, which there aren't many because you time out of this. After 18 years, you're done. Right. You talk to people that have been around for a long time on this. This used to be a radical issue. This used to be a radical idea. Now, if you take a step back, this past year, 5 states passed bills that improved their equal and shared parenting in some form or fashion. 4 of them were not like Arkansas. Arkansas pretty much got everything that you could hope for and that you could ask for. But Texas and West Virginia increased access for non-custodial parents. Tennessee and Oklahoma, facts, findings, and conclusions. These are the first downs that need to be made. And you look at over the last decade, there were more steps made in 2021 in those 5 states than the last 5 to 7 years combined. So this is a snowball that's growing. It's moved from being a radical extreme idea to it's moving into the mainstream. And it's an issue that can impact everyone.
Well, the other snowball that's happening is that the system can't take it anymore. The system's about to break. And it's just sheer demographics. I mean, you're aware that divorce rate's been around 50% for a significant period of time. But what we've had, and we've actually seen that, how in Cook County we had our parentage and our divorce courts merged because the parentage courts were becoming flooded. That's really the social phenomenon that's changed, is the unmarried birth rate, which now is at 40%. Racial breakdown: 28% white, 56% Hispanic, 71% African American, 41% in total. That's huge. So you include the unmarried birth rate population with the divorce population, the non-intact households are exploding, and the courts, I mean, especially when these become high conflict, these courts do not have the bandwidth to be able to properly dispose of them. There has to be reform. There has to be a presumption of shared parenting, or the system's going to break. And there has to be a way to take these high conflict cases out of the normal court system and create sort of a parallel system. I haven't been on I-5 in a while, Mark, out in California. But, what would happen if someone's in the left-hand lane driving 50 miles an hour, slowing down the entire, interstate out in California? It would be a disaster, and that's what's happening with these. So we have to ally with the women, the psychologists. The high conflict cases cannot be profit centers anymore. They have to be taken out because they'll just crash the whole thing. And that's happening right now.
Yeah, very, very much. You're seeing COVID. I think COVID exposed a lot of the fissures that were there.